Hey guys, welcome to a bonus episode of This Is Wholelife. We started talking about what is upcoming during the episode at the very end of 311, and I'm just like, whoa. We got long, and Ken's like, you know what? Let's just make this a bonus episode. If you want to know what is happening at Wholelife, or what will be happening at Wholelife Church from this spring, the remainder of spring, into the summer, and even into fall, we've got some exciting things that are happening, things that we think you're going to enjoy, things that you can invite your family, your friends, coworkers, whoever. Invite them to be a part of what we're doing, because we've got some really, really cool things happening. So we're just going to join the conversation as it was happening at the end of the episode, and that is the nature of this bonus. So thanks for listening. Share among friends and family, and we look forward to seeing you at Wholelife Church. Hook us up. We could. We won't say no. So it's Anderley next week, and then we have VBS then something.
No, but the week after that we have Gina Creek. We're starting.
Oh, that's right.
It's an interesting little thing. I thought I was going to be gone that next weekend, but as it turns out, I'm still going to be around the weekend after Anderlene preaches.
I knew there was something.
Yeah, but Gina Creek is one of our church members, longtime church member here. She's going to be doing the sermon. We're doing a Voices of Wholelife, but she's starting it off. Then the week after that, I'll finish the 10 Commandments series, and then we'll go ahead and finish the Voices of Wholelife. So that'll be during the month of June.
Okay.
And then July. July's exciting because we're doing Ken's Summer Blockbuster series. And so I have picked, July has 5 Saturdays in it. And so I'll be doing, we're doing 5 movies.
Are these your favorite movies?
I wouldn't go that far because I try to keep the movies in the PG to PG, PG-13 rating, just because we're probably going to show all of them here in the church on weeknights.
Okay.
And then on Saturday, I'll be preaching a sermon based off of that sermon, the themes of that sermon, and using the themes of that movie.
Film. Nice.
And using that as kind of the metaphor for those themes. And of course, we'll get into the biblical texts as well that go along with these things. But do you want to hear the movies? I guess I could do that for our podcast listeners. I could tell them the movies we're going to do.
Yeah, what have we got?
So the first movie we're going to do is a George Clooney classic. It's Good Night and Good Luck, or Good Luck and Good Night. Edward R. Murrow.
Okay, I know who Edward R. Murrow is. But,
it's basically the story of how he exposed the McCarthyism, and and so that's actually going to be happening that kind of July 4th weekend. So I'll be kind of dealing on the theme of freedom, but maybe from a little bit of a different twist, because McCarthyism encapsulated some freedom of expression, but it can be deadly. There was a lot of people that were really hurt through that process of what happened. And so we'll take a look at one side where it's fighting freedom of speech and whatnot, but then we'll also be talking about our responsibilities with the words that we use as well. So that will be
Good Night and Good Luck.
Good Night and Good Luck, and that's, I believe, PG. And then the one after that we'll be watching is going to be Something the Lord Has Made, which I don't believe that one I believe it was a made-for-TV kind of movie, so I don't believe it has a rating.
Okay.
But it's fabulous. It is a fabulous movie. Cuba Gooding Jr. is in that one, and it is the true story of the doctor and his assistant who solved blue baby syndrome, where babies had heart defects and they couldn't get enough oxygen and they would die. But this doctor and his assistant pioneered how to go ahead and solve that problem. And while the white doctor was given most of the accolades, it was actually his assistant who really was just as instrumental. That's portrayed by Cuba Gooding Jr. And so it's just a really fabulous movie that we'll get into the themes of the racism that sometimes can take place. We're going to talk about noticing everybody who helps with the problem. It's not just always the person who's the big face of things, but usually it takes a group of people to make things happen. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Week after that, we'll be doing, I think, and some of these might get flip-flopped. It just depends. But a friend of mine named Dan Merchant made a documentary about 12 years ago called "Lord Save Us from Your Followers," and I've talked to Dan. He's gonna. We think he's gonna fly out here.
Nice.
He's we're just trying to nail down the dates. And the cool thing about it is Dan has just wrapped up shooting and producing two faith-based TV series. One is about hospice nurses that care for people who are in the last stages of life.
Sure.
And so it kind of explores the themes of what makes life worth living and dying a good death. And that series is called Going Home. And then he's also releasing another series that's about a Christian radio station, and it's kind of more of a sitcom based off of Christian radio.
So are you trying to tell us that you had some kind of a starring role in this?
No, not at all. What I am
not
trying to tell you is that
okay.
if Dan comes out, which is looking like he will, he's going to probably bring some screenings of those two projects with him, as well as Lord Save Us. So you'll be able to catch those. Those movies are being produced by Sony Pictures. So I think those are going out on PureFlix or something like that. So.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so that'll be pretty fun if that all comes together like I think it will.
Yeah.
So I think that's 4, and then the 5th one is just one of the most fabulous movies. It's A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood with Tom Hanks starring as
I've never seen that.
Fred Rogers, and it is a phenomenal movie. Actually, all those movies are PG except for Lord Save Us, which is PG-13.
Okay.
So
which is a documentary.
It's a documentary, and so
there's some language.
There might be a little bit in there, but there's also some thematic things in there. But I think it'll be really fun. The goal is to kind of create a family thing where you can come out during the week and spend some time at the church and
I like that.
kind of
That's
be
a good
together.
idea.
And I don't know, I'm trying to talk Tammy into having a popcorn maker and doing some stuff like that. So
espresso bar.
You never know. You don't know. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But it should be pretty fun and just a great thing to invite your friends and neighbors to come and watch and hang out and be a community.
I'm more excited than ever for summer because everybody knows if you've been listening to the podcast any summer, you know my absolute favorite weeks of the entire year are the weeks that we have our members do the preaching.
Yeah.
And so there's always someone to get to know better. There's someone who shares a piece of their journey, has a different perspective than you have. And every year they knock it out of the park. Every year you think, when the kid, was it 2 years ago? I think before COVID, we had some of the teenagers do one of the sermons, and they were phenomenal. Yeah. And then they came on the podcast and killed it again. It was awesome. And so it's for me, I love hanging out with you guys, but I mean, it's also fun just getting to know some new people.
Another fun thing that we're talking about doing. See, I'm giving away all kinds of, I've the pastors at Markham Woods, Forest Lake, Spring Meadow, and then of course here at Wholelife Church, we get together occasionally because we're both all large churches and we kind of talk large church things that happen. Yeah. So I'm going to say this because I'm trying to push them in this direction, but we've been talking about actually doing a pulpit rotation where we all preach in each other's churches, so you would get to actually hear from everybody. And we kind of preach on kind of probably a similar topic where we all come at it from a different viewpoint. So
why don't you go ahead and send me their email addresses, and I'll go ahead and send this episode. Like, guys, we called you out.
I feel pretty certain they already listen to this every week. They don't have much to do other than listen to my podcast.
I'm sure they do. Sure they do. They want to hear what Ken's up to. How do you keep track of Ken?
And then we've got the other fun one that's coming up is the question one where people can write out their questions.
Oh, right.
We're doing great questions.
Yeah, great questions. That's coming up. And then Richard and I are going to do a co-series together on worship. So we're going to be talking about music and worship, and so there's some fun stuff coming up for the rest of this year.
If you're going to try to, you got to beat the heat for summer around here in Florida, but
this is into the fall. This is kind of.
This sounds like this is going to carry us all the way through summer and have some pretty great things to be putting our minds at.
Yeah,
I like it.
Good stuff.
Excellent. Well, that'll next week is Anderling, and I am excited for next week because
And don't miss the promo for next week.
Don't miss the promo for next week, which
on YouTube.
I don't have it. I'm pretty sure I'm taking care of that. So I'll make sure it gets out.
Should probably make sure that gets out soon.
And then I'll make sure it hits out. So, guys, always on the podcast at Wholelife ORL on Twitter is where everything from the podcast comes out. So it's one of the social medias that I take care of for the podcast. And so we'll definitely put out the promo on there. So check it out. Probably on Wednesday, I'm guessing we'll have that done. Maybe Wednesday or Thursday. But check that out because I think you'll enjoy it. And I know you'll enjoy listening to Anderline. I've never heard her preach, but I'm pretty confident that I'm going to enjoy it.
It'll be great.
And it'll be awesome next week to have her on the podcast. So that'll be fun too. So that'll be something to look forward to.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great week. Lots to look forward to.